One question mark over the relationship between the two of them, certainly at club level but also international level. They have played together, but how's that going to gel together? The good thing is, in some ways, they're coming up against Erling Haaland, who they both know very, very well.
Yeah, I was going to say there's plenty of familiarity, isn't there? Neil, the goalkeeper, who used to play in England. You've got the likes of Martin Ødegaard, Sander Berger and Christopher Ajer, to name but three, as well as Erling Haaland, who ply their trade in England.
Yeah, so England will know them very, very well, as will the Norwegian side know this England side. It's new territory for both these sides in terms of they've never played each other at a major tournament. So for Norway, not only quarterfinals, but at a major tournament to play against England and vice versa. So it's going to be a really interesting one. I think you can throw form guide out the window.
O'Reilly back into Anderson. We've just moved to Manchester City in a British record transfer from Nottingham Forest. First touch of the ball for Noni Madueke. Looking to cause problems with his pace. Not close to finding a teammate in the middle on this occasion, but he's up against David Muller-Wolfe of Wolverhampton Wanderers here in this first half, the left-back for Norway, who could have his hands full here trying to keep tabs on the Arsenal player.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt Noni Madueke's got a lot of pace. Question mark will be that delivery in the box we just saw there. It's about the occasion, being, calm enough when you get in that position, you whip in a really good ball into the box, and it's going to be difficult against this Norwegian side, as they're really, really big as well at the back.
A little bit wayward off the boot of Anthony Gordon. Gay steps in. As Gordon looks for Harry Kane. Beaten to it by Christopher Ajer of Brentford in London. Here's O'Reilly, and now Stones. Of course, Stones and Gay in the middle of England's defence up against Haaland, a player they will play against every day of the week in training.
Yeah, it will be, and that's where there are advantages. There's also that knowing what Haaland can do, what his strengths are, but also then understanding how they are able to combat that. And for Haaland, he'll know the same thing about Gay and Stones. He'll know where he gets the better of them at times in training, and I'm sure that happens as well.
Collected by Ezri Konsa. Little touch from Declan Rice, who's certainly been under the weather this week.
Yeah, there's always going to be a challenge, isn't it? Deeper they go into the tournament, you're going to have these little challenges along the way. Players getting ill, some little knocks, fitness levels in terms of extreme conditions, playing in altitude, now coming into the humidity. That's going to be a challenge for England, and also Norway have had their challenges along the way with the different climates.
Yeah, we've spoken about Kane and Haaland, the two strikers, but big battle in midfield as well between two club teammates who have got the utmost respect for each other, in Declan Rice and Martin Ødegaard too. That could be key, that area of the field.
Yeah, and two very different types of players, aren't they? I mean, Declan Rice is the one that's going to look to try and shore up that midfield, along with Elliot Anderson next to him. They're the engine of the England side, break up play, but also then looking to get the ball forward quickly, and Ødegaard is the playmaker. He's the one that Norway turn to, and of course Erling Haaland will be looking towards him heavily for that service.
Here's Konsa, who's acting as a makeshift right back today, but has played at right back before. Well, the last time he did so actually was for England in last October's friendly international against Wales. Has done it. Flag has gone up on the far side. Promising move, comes to nothing for England. Free kick for Norway.
Yeah, all Norway trying to keep the line as high as possible. That ball has been on a couple of times. We've already seen Elliot Anderson play that ball to Noni Madueke. You can see he's just strayed a little bit on the offside, but it is a good ball. It's the right move. And you'll see England try and play that more often in this game as it goes on.
They've got a few injured players that they need to manage quite carefully, haven't they, England? Bukayo Saka being one of them.
Yeah, very much so. That's going to be the challenge. The longer you go into tournaments, that's always the way. You're going to have players with injury issues. Retain possession and ultimately win that free kick.
England just a little quick with the free kick for the liking of referee Clement Turpin.
I think he gave Ødegaard a little bit of a talking to, because you just saw that England wanted to take a quick free kick. And Ødegaard's just toe-poked the ball away, and I think he's just given a little bit of a word saying that's your one and only opportunity to do that. Otherwise, next time, he'll probably go into the book.
Gordon trying to get the better of Ryerson. No joy on this occasion. He's put in a couple of good performances, though, Anthony Gordon, in the last two matches, which has cemented his position for now on the left-hand side for England, ahead of Marcus Rashford, which hasn't been the case throughout this World Cup.
No, he started the first game of the tournament. I thought that it was definitely not his best game. And obviously, Marcus Rashford came in for him, and then I think started the next game. And then he's obviously come back into the side, and definitely his performances have grown. He's gotten better as this tournament has gone on.
Here comes Sorloth. England doubling up rather nicely. Don't be surprised if this match takes a little while to come to the boil, despite the hot conditions here in South Florida. In the matches that these two sides have played at the World Cup finals this summer, combined, there's only been one goal scored in the first 20 minutes.
One could say they're a little bit of a slow burner, both these sides, finding their way in the game. And obviously, when you're at this stage of the tournament, often it's a bit cagey for both sides, trying to feel their way into the game.
Payne spreading it away to the far side. They're looking to get Madueke involved in the match wherever possible. FIFA President Gianni Infantino here for this one, alongside His Royal Highness Prince Haakon, the Crown Prince of Norway. Muller-Wolfert. Pace to burn there for Madueke to win it back for England. Declan Rice.
Such an important part of the game, having your wider players track back, try and make a difference in terms of winning back the possession in a good area.
Bit of space here for Nico O'Reilly. Can he make the most of it? Good challenge by Aya to reclaim it for Norway, and maybe the chance to break. Sorloth. This is Sander Berge. Hegum happy to leave it for his captain, Ødegaard, who's had a very good World Cup. Berg into Ryerson. Here's Sorloth. Certainly another goal threat for Norway. Alexander Sorloth, not all about Erling Haaland. He scored 20 goals this season, Sorloth, for Atletico. Half a dozen in the Champions League. Schjelderup, the one change coming into the team today for Norway, for Solbaken's team. Schjelderup in for Lusat, who's on the bench. He was their one player on a yellow card. England have Nico O'Reilly, Declan Rice, Mark Gay and Jude Bellingham, all a yellow card away from a suspension. Cut out by Konsa. Ryerson. Here's Sorloth. And Riley quick to close him down. Sander Berge, who's been playing in England for the last half dozen years with Fulham now, but formerly with Sheffield United and Burnley as well. And it's too long.
What we've noticed.
Venus Williams here enjoying this World Cup quarter-final.
What we've seen at this stadium here in Miami is the tempo of the games are generally a bit slower build-up, more concentration of just trying to get a bit of field position and then looking to try and hit teams, lifting the tempo all of a sudden. Counter-attack football. Norway will see that probably more of. They did that against Brazil. England will look to be in more possession and try and find gaps, find those little pockets. Anthony Gordon, Jude Bellingham.
England were just over 60% of the play so far in the opening 14 minutes of the game. Gay. Anderson. Again, they're going to look for Madueke over on the far side. Ezri Konsa. This is Gay. Rice makes himself available. Steady pace in the humidity in this opening quarter of an hour. Everyone knows it could be a long match ahead. Konsa. Anthony Gordon's just wandered into some space on the near side if England decide to switch the play. Noni Madueke. Patient possession from England. Now they switch it to Gordon. Ryerson swiftly across. Gordon's away, and England will have a corner kick, their first of the match.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to look at slow build up, and then all of a sudden there's got to be a quick turn of pace. Anthony Gordon does well. Ryerson comes to him as he comes in. He just takes that touch, slight 1-2 of himself around him, gets on goal side, and it's very, very difficult then for Ryerson to give anything away other than a corner.
He was pretty good at set plays back in the day, wasn't he, David Beckham, in an England shirt? First corner is easily cleared, but it will be England's ball over on the far side.
Yeah, disappointing delivery. Can't beat that first post man. Needs to get more height on it, or at the very least, if it's a set, like a worked corner, they've got to have that runner get in front of that Norwegian first line of defence to get the flick on.
We're over a quarter of an hour into this match. England haven't touched the ball inside Norway's penalty area as of yet. Rice. Anderson. Gay. Madueke up towards Bellingham, and Torbjorn Heggem momentarily retrieving it for Norway. They're happy to just sit back for the time being.
We saw them play like this against Brazil. They did it very, very effectively, and don't see it changing anytime soon. They'll look to try and conserve energy, wait for the right moment to try and win back possession, and then hit them on the counter-attack.
See the position very much dominated by England so far. 65% of the players. Anthony Gordon sends it in. It was towards Madueke. Gordon challenging again. Collected by Declan Rice. Konsa. Norway happy to soak it up for now. Elliot Anderson. Free ball from Bellingham. Challenged by shoulder up. It's been something of a stumbling block for England, the quarter-finals at the World Cup over the years. They failed to progress from 3 of the last 4 matches in the last 8. Did beat Sweden in Russia in 2018, but it was a 2-1 defeat to France 4 years ago in Qatar. Anthony Gordon tries to find a way past Ryerson. Here's Stones. Space for Anderson. Anderson's delivery's not a bad one. Bellingham tried to get his head on it, and Madueke was racing in on the 6-yard line in the far post area.
Yeah, it's the right idea. Quick ball in behind, then look, no space, bring it back, and then there's that quick whipped-in delivery. It's got to be with pace and accuracy, because Norway have got a clear advantage from the height perspective. Jude Bellingham just couldn't readjust in time, and Noni Madueke in the end left a little opportunity to get anything on the end of it.
Well, he's had a shoulder problem in the not-too-distant past, Jude Bellingham. Let's hope there's no issue for him going forward. Well, one in the air by Rice. Ødegaard gets the flick off Bellingham. Referee Turpan awards Norway the free kick. Worth noting, though, that it was the other shoulder, the other side, where he had the problem before. He had the operation. Poor ball. Rice finds Kane. First touch for England's captain near the area. Can't find a way past Ajer. Well, it nearly unexpectedly opened up there for England.
Yeah, Norway tried to play out, didn't they? And then England just shuffled across well. Put pressure on the ball, won it high up, and there's that quick ball into Harry Kane. Just felt you needed Harry Kane to get a little bit better touch, bit of turn of pace, take on Ajer on the edge of that box. Anything can happen. Instead, he tries to look for the reverse pass that was quite easily cut out by the Norwegian defence.
Mark Gay for England, winning his 35th cap in this match. Norway happy for England to have the ball for now. Ezri Konsa. Almost all the play here in the opening 20 minutes inside Norway's half of the field. Not a great deal of it inside their penalty area. Just the one touch in Norway's box so far in the game. O'Reilly looks to potentially change that. Well, neither of the two headline strikers have seen much of the ball here in the opening quarter of this match. Just 9 touches between them up to this point. Gordon faced by Ryerson. Here's O'Reilly. Madueke beaten by the bounce, and David Muller-Wolfer with a chance to clear.
That's the right idea. Madueke makes the run. He gambles a little bit, has to sometimes. Unfortunately for him, it just takes a pretty big bounce and over his head. But the ball in the box was also another good one.
Back with Bellingham, who sends it Konsa's way, and Madueke in from the start today in place of Bukayo Saka, who started the match in Mexico and lasted nearly an hour. He's on the bench. Mark Gay. O'Reilly. Going to get away from Sorlock, faced by Rierson. Little exchange there with Gordon. Promising, but Madueke forced a little bit wider than he would have liked. Drilling that one in, O'Reilly. Almost able to get his right foot round that, but didn't have very long to think about it and react.
No, he didn't. I mean, I don't think he was going for goal. I think he was trying to take a touch. Noni Madueke does really well. Firstly, you feel like it's almost gone past him, and then he manages to gain control of the ball, quick move it down to the byline, and he whips in that cross. It's a really good ball in such a difficult area. Nick O'Reilly, I think he's just looking to try and get a touch rather than finish.
England exploding into life there as we head for the hydration break.
Are set to take the field, and Canada is fired up. Is there a touch? Penalty.
That is a massive decision.
We are deep into stoppage time. Oh, they must be careful here. Oh! But hang on, they are checking it. It's going to be in the hands of the VAR. The goal has been reversed! They have felt everything it is possible to feel.
Canada isn't just pretty, it's powerful. And our government has a plan to unlock that power. As the world races towards clean energy, Canada's government will use our natural advantage to build world-class energy projects that bring down costs, create thousands of new jobs, and lower emissions. We'll build a cleaner future in a way that only Canada can. A message from the Government of Canada.
So more or less ready to start again now. The end of the first half hydration break. Chance to just cool down a little for a few moments and take some fluids on board here. Much needed on a night like this, or a late afternoon, I should say, like this, 5 p.m. local time, the kickoff time. The earliest of the kickoff times we've had here in Miami, and nothing between these two sides, and barely an opportunity to score a goal worthy of the name for either of them so far.
Yeah, you can really feel what's at stake here. It is a place into the semi-finals. Both sides are obviously desperately trying to find their way into this game, wanting to make sure they conserve energy and wait for the right moment to go for it. And certainly Norway, they're happy to sit back, worked hard off the ball, but just compact and made it difficult for England.
A special year for Norwegian football. Special World Cup, their first trip to the finals since they played at France in
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously Declan Rice, I believe, must be definitely related to that illness that he suffered. Hasn't been quite the same as we've seen him so far in this tournament. So to make that substitution, you can completely understand it. Noni Madueke probably hasn't been involved, and I think Thomas Tuchel probably wanted to take on, you know, Muller Wolf a few more times in that first half, and he didn't. So Bukayo Saka coming